Hello, everyone. This is Zelda, and welcome to the episode 45 of Scene Crime. Today, we're going to be reading for one of the people that I have a very hard time pronouncing the name correctly. You know who it is. Nicholas Guarino. Guarino? Yeah, that guy. The guy who missed the 32,000 texts with Sandra Birchmore's case. The guy who said in a written statement that John O'Keefe could not have been in 34 Fairview Road more than 3 seconds. Now, how is that? I can't even open the door to my condo in 3 seconds. That's what he was saying. If he was in there, if John O'Keefe was in 34 Fairview, according to Nikki, and that's what we're going to call him, Nikki G. That's good. Nikki G. If Nikki G says no more than 3 seconds, that is, just say he wasn't there. That is the most ridiculous statement. Anyway, we're going to be looking into him and we're going to see what's going on. And I especially want to look and see when the gauntlet may be dropping on him. So here we go. Let's introduce the cards. Laying out the foundation is our friend the Kipper deck. Then we have the Mythic Tarot. I have a small mini tarot so we can confirm some things. Down here, peeking through, is the House of Zelda cards. And then we have these. These are the hidden bicycle deck. Now we're going to ask these questions because I'm going to leave it open-ended as far as Sandra Birchmore and as far as Karen Reed. There's problems with him, as you know, as we know, and we're going to find out what it is that we know. Now, I do not know his birthday. I looked, but I don't need his birthday. We have his name that was assigned to him at birth, and that's all we need. So we're going to clear the energy here. We're going to clear it. Make sure that there's no cat hair fuzz or anything happening. And here we are, my darlings, with this Kipper deck. Now, angels, guides, and spirits. This is going to be a week. I'm going to tell you, my darlings, stay tuned this week because I've got a plan. And y'all are going to love what I've got planned in one of the videos coming out this week. So today is Monday, September the 9th of 2024. We're going to see what's going on. All right. Here we are. A sudden wealth. Oh, yeah, I'm here for that. I know you are. Main female, that's... Oh, I don't know. All right, we're going to see who this is. We're going to see. I almost said Karen Reed, but it could be Sandra. Courtship. High honors. Yeah, he's going to be getting some high honors, just like Matthew Farwell, I have a feeling. We're going to lay out 2 more. A message of concern. I want to identify this young lady right here. So it's either Karen Reed, expectation. Oh, definitely. It's either Karen or Sandra. We're going to find out who points to that. And you know what? I'm going to add another small deck of cards on top of this. Yes, indeed. It's going to be, you all know them. If we have time, if you're here for it, we're going to add on the Piotnik deck. These are the 36 cards, 6 different languages, and it's a cross between a tarot and like the Lenormand decks. So it's not really an oracle. Maybe it is. Maybe it's called Piotnik. There we are. And the 12 signs of the zodiac. We're going to put these to the side as well. I'm going to say this. This sudden wealth does not mean money. This sudden wealth means a huge drop of information that is coming regarding one of these ladies. Now, for right now, I'm getting the instinct that that's probably Miss Sandra. There is a message of concern around that, of course, because he didn't do his job. No, wait, I'm sorry. No, he didn't do his job the right way. He did his job the way that he was told to do his job. The cocky attitude. The courtship. He has committed to stick to his plan, stick to making himself higher in a profile than what he is, as in an expert, more so than the crash daddies, more so than the other daddies, the Cellbrite daddies, we're going to call them that had all of the information. He appointed himself as an expert, and then lollygagging went along with it. Expectation, there is a huge expectation of things about to come down the pike for him. Let's keep going, my loves. We're going to start with this Mythic Tarot. Y'all know this card deck by now. I love this because it really gives us a picture, and there are some 2 cards that turned over, and we're going to take them. The Chariot and the 6 of Swords. Okay? Oh, wait till we get to that card. Y'all are going to love it. Here we are. The Fool. Well, we could stop right there and we would all agree. Sorry here. There's a lot of energy in the cards. Knight of Wands. Fire element. 4 of Pentacles. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. We're going to put this down and these to the side. We're going to pick this up. And I have my trusty little pointer here today. A lot of movement in this card. You see, I want you to, let's point some things out. There's a race. This person, this chariot driver, is basically saying what direction that they want to go. But there's some really interesting things in this particular card that I want to point out. You see, this chariot driver is concentrating on this white horse and going in this direction. This dark horse, you see, is headed toward maybe peril, but he has his tongue hanging out. This chariot driver is trying to get control over the situation because there is a split. There's no gray area. It's either black or white. Also the zodiac sign for Cancer. Interesting. The 6 of Swords. Someone feeling in control of the direction that they are going. You see this gentleman standing there. Look, he's just standing there with his little arms folded, saying, yes, we are on our way. But look at this. There is some turbulence on this side, and he's wanting to head into more calmer seas. But the swords are always air elements and can really designate some type of communication. And all of this is in front of him, which tells me, which the card that he landed on was a message of concern, and that, with all of these ahead of him, is forthcoming. Amazing, right? Here we are with this Fool card. Now this Fool card, we're going to take a good look at it here. See, we have this vulture, if I can get him to focus. We have this vulture hawk-looking fellow up there, which is a predator-type bird, waiting for this person to make a mistake and fall. This really does not mean the Fool, but it means that starting the slate, starting over, wanting to wipe the slate clean. Look at his little face. He's looking like he needs some help. There's the sun coming up in the background. Now, in the original tarot, we may see that if it comes out to confirm. This little fellow here, the Fool, which happens to be the first card in the deck because it signifies how we start out. Not knowing anything, no lessons learned, not knowing really the direction that we're going to go. And that's why we are called the Fool starting out. It's not as though we are a fool, it's just maybe we act foolish in the beginning of our journey. In the original card, he's got a little pole over his shoulder with a pouch, and the pole and the pouch basically have a picture of a phoenix rising from the ashes. It's a start over, it's a do-over. Okay, so I really believe, I'm not there yet. I do think that this is pointed towards Sandra, but it does have some earmarks for Karen, and we're going to continue. And it just, you know what, my darlings, it just may be both. Because he's in the thick of it on both. And it could be both because of this Chariot card being pulled in one direction and in the other, because he is definitely up to his hooves, up to his mane and tail in both cases. This Knight of Wands. You see this. He's on this Pegasus type horsey. This is all mythology, so that's why. This is a fiery element, this wand of fire. This Knight of Wands is an action card, basically saying that there's a lot more coming. There's a lot more coming. You're going to see a lot more. And he's ready. He's ready to jump into action. What does this mean, Zelda? It means that there's more coming soon. That's what this means. We're going to hear more. We're going to find out more coming soon. And that's, well, hello. That's what this card means too. This expectation. Expect more to happen very soon. The last card. This Four of Pentacles. Now, this typically can be about money, coins, but right here I want you to know this, because we are close to this courting card, courtship, commitment card. The reason I'm saying this is because you see this young man, he's sitting here trying to be consistent and working very hard for what they have, but Papa back here is holding on very tightly to the coins that they already have. Even though things are flourishing around them, there's a situation that he's holding on very tightly. Now, this is the situation for Nikki G, because he's got to hold tight onto, he can't change his testimony at this point. He could. I wish he would. But it's not a good look to change his testimony. Next up, we're going to take out a few of these mini tarot. Ooh, and this card came flying out. I don't know if you saw that or not. It's the Two of Swords. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Tower. Interesting. The Strength card, which is also a Leo. Oh my goodness, my darlings. A confirmation. This is the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles laying almost right on top of each other. Isn't that amazing? I am so amazed when this happens. Let's start out with this we're going to put this deck to the side for a second. We're going to start out with this Two of Swords. The Two of Swords means that sometimes you're blinded to the truth. Do you see there is, don't know if you can see it or not, I'll try to help it focus here. I think you might be able to. Above this, in fact, let me do this. Above this blindfold is a wee little dot. Do you see that? I know it's hard to. My apologies. That means instinct, third eye opening, gut instinct. Nikki G has been blinded to this situation to a certain degree because I don't think I think he knows what's coming, but I don't think he knows what's coming. He surmises, but he doesn't really, well, I think he knows what's coming. He's in a ready mode. He has prepared for what's coming, and he thinks he's going to walk away. Tough guy Nikki G will probably be the first one to start singing like a little canary. This Tower card. There's a lot of movement in this, a lot of muck and mire, mayhem. You see, there is one person falling from this side and another person falling in another type of direction. One is right side up, the other one is in a different position off this tower. This can mean that you hold on until the absolute very end, until absolute treachery strikes before you have common sense enough to leave. And if you don't leave, this is what happens. And this tower was not built on solid ground. The testimony that he had for Karen Reed was not built on solid ground. His idea of not having those 32,000 texts were not built on fact or solid ground. This is what happens. The gauntlet, the tower starts to fall. What does this card mean? Well, I'll tell you. It's the Strength card, also the Leo. And Nikki G prides himself in thinking that he has an infinite amount of strength, that he can overcome this situation. He feels that his intellect, because he can't overcome the Fed cat. We can write feds on this kitty right here. He can't overcome this using his strength, so he thinks he's going to use his knowledge. I will guarantee they are ahead of him in that position. And once again, I want to show you this card because you can see how tightly he is holding on. Now, for change of pace, we're going to ask for this cartomancy. Here we are. Yes. But this, you see, I'm going to point something out here to you. Normally, in any other circumstance, this is the Nine of Hearts equal to the Nine of Cups. In the tarot, this is the yes card. It means yes. The answer is yes. The wish come true, the heart's desire, the wish fulfilled. However, comma, when you have these cards like the Tower, and in the subject that we're dealing with here, this changes this card. Now, before I tell you what it is, I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to continue. I don't know when Sandra's birthday is, but I don't need to know really. But that's Sandra. Karen Reed would be the Queen of Hearts. And this is not a good card. We're going to put these to the side and thank them. Based on what I am seeing here, my darlings, this Nine of Hearts message changes from all this wonderful love and happiness and yes to the playing of emotional games. The dabbling into something that you're not supposed to be dabbling into. The Three of Clubs is a card that basically says it's time now. He's looking for money from other resources. And Seven of Clubs basically is telling us that he's starting to get concerned about finances. So I think that he's into something. IA may be getting ready to announce something. There's something there, but this card is Miss Sandra Birchmore. So I do believe that this sweet girl here, this main female, is Sandra. And I'll give you my take on that in just a minute. But Nikki G is headed for a very dark road. And it's unfortunate for his choices. But those are the choices that he's made. You see this all-seeing eye? You know what that really means? You ain't able to do a thing in this digital technology world that we live in without somebody somewhere, somehow, seeing, hearing, or knowing what you've done. It all comes out. There's an old saying, it all comes out in the wash. All the 32,000 texts that he said that he could not pull, the expert for the CW could not pull off of Sandra's. And I'll tell you what, this is pretty easy. Her messages were very easy, much easier than Karen Reed. But I'm going to make a point here, just a second. I know all of you know this, but I have to make this point. In the Karen Reed case, we know that all of the persons of interest, all of the witness, the bad actors, unless they had a sale at the Apple store or at Best Buy, they all seemed to get rid of their phones or make a change or delete or wipe or reset. Who was the one who did not? Karen Reed. She just handed over her little phone, good, bad, and the ugly, and we saw it all. Well, you know what? That's life. Tell me when any of us haven't had words with someone that we've loved and maybe regretted it later, but at the time, words are words. So why wasn't Nikki G, able to find those types of messages? And believe me, they were sickening enough that all he would have had to read was about 3 or 4 to know where this was headed. Or maybe he did, and that's why he stopped. But this all-seeing eye here is a huge, big indicator of what is about to happen. Now, this Ace of Spades is a timing card for winter. As far as I'm concerned, winter starts when it gets cold. And even though technically winter here in the United States doesn't start until the end of November, when we hit November 1 and I'm starting to think about Thanksgiving in the United States and it's getting cold and it may snow, I feel like I'm in winter. Forget about the fall. To me, fall end, you're in fall in the September and October. Halloween, you're fall. November 1, you're winter. Many of you think that, I think, in some way. But this is a winter timing card. This winter timing card, and look, we've got hidden all right. But this winter timing card can also mean some very not so good things. And the fact that it landed right beside Miss sweet little Sandra. This is an unaliving card. This is a card also of jail. It's a card of very negative properties. I'm going to lay out, I'm going to shuffle and I'm going to lay out one more beside it to see what we come up with. Oh, definitely. There is definite decisions. So yes, this is Sandra that we are seeing come out in Nikki G's. Not that it doesn't, I mean, I do know that Karen is involved, but primarily this is Sandra. This Five of Hearts means there has been some decisions, and they were tough decisions based on this Ace of Spades, and extremely tough because look at poor little Sandra. Now up is this Piotnik deck. And my darlings, another long video. Here we are. The Piotnik deck. First card, love. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And that was for Miss Sandra because I do know there was some love there. A sick situation doesn't necessarily mean bad health, but it can be near some of these darker cards. It can mean a sick or bad situation. Anger, we know that. That was Matthew Farwell. Fortune. Let's see what's beside the fortune. My darlings, remember what I just said about this? So we've got some matches here. I mean, I can't, right? You know what I'm going to say. We can't make this stuff up. There's a fortune. I'm going to tell you, when this information comes out about Nikki G, we're going to feel like we hit the lottery. That is what I'm saying. Okay. Last but not least, the House of Zelda cards. And then I'm going to give you my summary. Now, while I'm shuffling, have you had your video reading with me yet? I think you'd be very pleased if you do. If you have 2 questions, fill out the form. I'm going to put the link here in the description. Fill out the form. I will read for you within 48 hours. And we're going to do a layout similar to this to find out and give you the answers to your questions. I think you will be very happy. And I hope you get to do that soon because I know many of you do have those questions. And it's definitely helpful to have a little guidance and direction. Here we go. First card. I want to make sure that it's not sticking. Wisdom is needed. Yeah, Nikki G. Smarten up, buddy. There's definite loss. We know that with this card here. So it is Miss Sandra. There is a new pathway ahead coming. Falsehood or being lied to? We certainly have been lied to. Nikki G has taken advantage of all, and when I say our, because you know all of us have been so vested in these cases with Karen and Sandra that we all are personally affected. Is this what our law enforcement is turning out to be? I hope not, because it is such a bad rap for all the good guys. Definitely. I'm going to lay out, what am I going to lay out? I'm going to lay out 3 more of these for confirmation. That is exactly what I was talking about. The Nine of Cups is the yes card. But let's see what falls beside this yes card. This card wanted to come out. We're going to take it too. The Hierophant and this 7 of Pentacles. The Hierophant is a Taurus. The Hierophant, as you see, well, first of all, is the counterpart to the High Priestess. It's a very spiritual card, but also teaches us that there's no black and white. There's no, I'm sorry, erase. There is no gray area. There is only black and white. It can mean going in another direction. There's a lot of things going on, my darlings, behind the scenes. Now, let me tell you this very important information. Friday is the Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, I happen to like. I get along on Friday 13th. But you know what? This little birdie right here, this is my buddy Poe. If you see him, my little birdie. I feel like my little birdie tells me sometimes that something is so behind the scenes that's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you what, the feds love irony. They love to pop somebody close to the holidays or on a holiday weekend or something that just kind of makes you go, okay, Friday the 13th. Well, that's bad luck for that dude. Don't be surprised if you see something come out on Friday the 13th. But one thing that we do know is that Nicky G had a nefarious agenda. He did it, and I believe he was directed to do it. You just don't wake up one morning and decide you're going to do that. There is a whole nucleus. I'm going to say this. An atom. Nucleus. Whose name is it? Gee, I'm not talking about an atom, am I? I'm talking about nucleuses and atom. Anyway, there is definitely more to come. Hard decisions. There is a message of concern coming and a wealth of information more. And believe me, get ready, my friends, because it's going to burn you up. It's not going to make you happy. But what you have to do is stay the course. Be consistent. Remember that this is coming and that there will be justice for Sandra. It's just begun. And there will definitely be justice for John, and Karen Reed will be freed. Thank you so much for being here with me, my darlings. Please do me a favor, subscribe, like. It helps me so much. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you very soon. But look for this, really. It's going to be a different episode of Seeing Crime. You're going to like it, and it's going to make a lot of sense. I'll see you soon. Bye.